have adopted a life of minimalism. I'm decluttering my life both physically and mentally from things that are not really necessary. I'm trying to free myself from the and physical conditionings. But when we start this journey of renunciation, there appears an empty space, a void in our life. If we don't fill that void with something bigger, we are bound to relapse back into worldly things. I tried to fill that void with greater love and devotion multiple number of times, but I've been a constant failure. It's becoming difficult to surrender my ego if I'm not honestly convinced of that greater love for the ultimate. My question is, how can I honestly surrender myself without being conditioned or biased?
It is not possible for human beings, bodied beings, to have an abstract love. Love for the ultimate means nothing. Love for the ultimate is almost like love for excellence or love for perfection. If you have it, then it will show up in your day-to-day activities. It will show up in your earthly projects, right? It has to show up in something material. It has to show up in very tangible ways. You cannot say that I am trying to live a minimalistic life, so I've minimized the presence of all things worldly in my mind and my life. And I'm trying to fill up the vacant space so created with love. I'll ask, what do you mean by love? Love for what? You'll say, love for the ultimate. I'll say, how does that reflect in your life? You are a corporal being. If you are indeed filling up your life with love, then there has to be a tangible manifestation. Are you serving animals? Are you saving trees? How is your love showing up? Love is not an abstract idea or concept. It has to be the pulsating, breathing reality of your life. You cannot say that my heart is now occupied by nothing but perfection. And when one looks at your life, you are shabby and squalid in everything that you do. Where is excellence? Where is perfection? Obviously, great love, transcendental love, has God as its aim. The beloved is truth. The beloved is the formless. But you are not formless, are you? You are embodied. And therefore, if you have real love for the formless one, it will show up in your relationships with objects, people, things, trees, animals, carrying form. These two will go together. If you have really love the formless one, then your relationship with this world full of forms will show that. Now, is your relationship with the world testifying your great and deep love? That is something you must honestly answer. Spirituality is not an abstraction. Do not say that your relationship with truth or God is in a totally different space compared to your relationship with the world. The two are one in a deep sense. In the spiritual domain, if you have really known something, it is impossible for that thing to not manifest itself in your worldly actions and thoughts and being. How can you, for example, fall in love with God and not fall in love with things or people or projects godly? How is it possible? How is it possible to love God and ignore the man of God? How is it possible to love God and not love the man who loves God? On one hand, you say you love the truth greatly. On the other hand, how can you be indifferent towards an earthly battle against all falsenesses? Tell me, is it possible? You say you love the truth, and the truth obviously is an abstraction beyond the mind. On the earth, right in front of you, there is a battle going on, and the battle is against falseness. How can you be indifferent to that battle if you really love the truth? Is it possible? Don't you see? Take the example of Kabir Sahib. Very fondly, very respectfully, with great love, he talks of Ram. And then he says, go and meet the sadhu daily. And if you cannot meet him daily, meet him at least every other day. Otherwise, at least once a week. Otherwise, once every fortnight. Don't you see what is happening? Do you see these two things happening parallelly? Because he loves Ram, so he also has great regards for the sadhu who loves Ram. Do you see this? Do you see this? But often we come across instances where people say, oh, we love Ram greatly. But here on the earth, there are many who are devoted to Ram, who love Ram, who are fighting for Ram. How is it that you keep ignoring them? How is it that you say that the great void, the empty space in your being can be filled only by an abstraction? Why can't it be filled by something worldly? I'll tell you why. Because abstractions are easier to manage. No abstraction is ever going to come and say harsh things to you. No abstraction is ever going to come and display to you that you have been mistaken. But when you relate and connect to an earthly being, then the possibility that the facts of life will be exposed to you is much higher. If you say you love Ram and you keep killing animals despite your claims about loving Ram, Ram is not going to come down and admonish you, right? You can easily say, oh, I love Ram so much, or love Ram or truth or Brahm or whatever. Give a name of your choice. So you can keep saying, I'm a lover of Ram, I'm a lover of Ram. And here you are enjoying your chicken and mutton. And it's all very cozy. But if you relate to the lover of God, if you relate to a person, then that person will come and pull your ears. He will say, what are you doing? Therefore, it is easier sometimes to relate to God than to relate to the godly man. Because the godly man is dangerous. God, pure witness, indifferent. He doesn't bother coming down and saying bad things to you. So don't talk so much about having the truth in your heart, or Ram or Krishna, or God or Allah in your heart. If you really have that purity in your heart, then relate to the pure one on this earth. Don't merely keep talking of the sky. Often having a relationship with the sky is self-deception. I want to see how your relationships on this earth are. That is a more genuine proof of your sincerity. Do not just keep saying, I love the truth. I want to see what you are doing against the falseness on this earth. That I want to see. Truth is a convenient abstraction.